Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes Podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Haygood. Before you continue listening, don't forget to hit subscribe on this podcast. That way you'll never miss another episode coming out every Monday. And we are now growing. We are the new proud owners and publishers of Scottsdale City Lifestyle, another way to find out about all the amazing businesses here in Scottsdale, which we are going to talk about today, as well as more of the content that's going on, more of the people, places, and events. So just another way to continue to learn more about Scottsdale and support our community. Today, we have Josh Utterback from the Economic Scottsdale Forum. I'm super excited to have him on and talk about all the great things that we are doing to help small businesses. But first, we need to start with two amazing small business owners here, Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance and Dr. Rob DiVito of Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry. Both of them have been born here in Scottsdale, started small businesses, so I'd love to learn what they went through. Talk about the mountains that you had to climb, Dr. Rob, to really get over the hump of starting a small business.
That is a great point. The mountains that you have to overcome. Right. So, being born and raised here in Arizona and being able to start my own business here in Scottsdale, it's been very fruitful. And Scottsdale's been a great area to actually have a small business for. Scottsdale Economics has actually helped, even through the downturn when COVID happened.
Totally.
I mean, they would put out newsletters and there would be grants, and they were really trying to help out small local businesses, which is fantastic. But being able to be in this area and actually reap the benefits from everything that's been going on, from the buildings to the new retail shops to people that are flooding our state and moving in because obviously what they see, they love.
That's just it, yeah.
And Scottsdale Economic Bureau and also the whole state of Arizona has really done a great job of bringing those people in to help start small businesses and even second and third businesses as well.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you too, you're from Arizona. You have 2 locations here. That's huge for you. Talk about what it means to be a small business owner. And this kind of goes for both of you, but you, Jeremy, you're from here. To support the city that you were born and raised, I'm sure means everything.
100%. I mean, starting a small business is like puppy training a dog and then having a toddler, and you have to do it all, right?
And they're all at the same time, too.
So it's not for the faint-hearted, but you don't get into this to make your own hours necessarily.
Oh, no, we're all...
You put in
what
more.
Are hours?
Yeah, right? So
it's the life. It's the lifeblood.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it's important to support these guys, right? Like, especially if they're taking that leap of faith on themselves. And I love some of the Scottsdale area small businesses and small restaurants that we have. It's important to frequent that, especially when we're not in season.
Right, which is great, actually. When we're not in season, we're still here because people like us that live here full time, we can get a better experience and a more intimate experience at some of those places that you're not going to get during the busy season for us.
Exactly.
Yeah. You talked about no hours and stuff like that. It is a full-time job starting a business, but you have to be passionate about it. I think one of the things that I've learned is when you believe in yourself and you have these grandiose plans and they're going to make it, it's hard to realize it takes time, right? Just like you said, Jeremy, it's a puppy, it's a toddler, it's all those things. It takes time for them to grow up. It's going to take time for your business to grow.
100%.
And it's that patience for me that I kind of have to take a deep breath and be right, look what you did accomplish and don't worry about what you didn't get done or succeed at today kind of thing.
That's the strong work ethic that we have here in Scottsdale.
Yeah, it is.
Starting from scratch and then being able to build it up into a great business, not just local, but sometimes, being from Scottsdale, they go national.
Yeah, I'm curious to listen to this one because I think also the network is so important there. You gotta, who really does matter in this town, and just having, honestly, people like Rob, people like Alicia build you up. That's so important.
Yeah, somebody in your corner. Absolutely.
Always. Yeah, I love it. One thing that's super important, Jeremy, I actually came to you for this when I was starting my business, is the insurance aspect. So talk to me about a little bit of the small business insurance and how important it is and what we should really look at when picking a policy for us.
Yeah, it's tough because it's overwhelming and no one actually reads the contract, right?
That's
true.
So
you just kind of buy it based on faith, or a lot of people just don't have it and they think, oh, I'm just working out of the house, I don't need it. I just have to caution because I have many stories about small businesses working out of their house that got sued for copyright infringement or something like that.
Oh.
And just stuff you don't think of that a policy would pay for. They're thinking, oh, it'll just pay for my computer. Well, I don't care if my computer goes down.
Oh.
So, but there's other legal ramifications there that could happen that a $400 policy could potentially pay for that can grow with you, you know? So they start small depending on what industry you're in, but you definitely need insurance if you're going to put yourself out to the public.
And cybersecurity. I mean,
yeah, that's a big one. I mean, it's a new one, and the industry's kind of catching up to that. So
interesting. Okay. What about you, Dr. Rob? Like, what are some things I know when we say this, like first looks, matter when you go in and stuff like that. You've actually helped some small business owners with new smiles and their business, it does increase when you have that pretty smile, looks in that sense of first impression.
It really is a first impression. I mean, from the moment you walk into that building or that you have that cup of coffee with that entrepreneur, that small business person just trying to get that face-to-face, a realtor, a mortgage broker, an insurance agent, or even walking into a dental office, you really want to put your best foot forward. And having that smile can sometimes really put somebody at ease that might be nervous, that might be thinking, oh gosh, this is my opportunity, and if I don't get this, I might be out of it. It's something soothing that everybody should have, and I'm glad that we are able to give that to a lot of our residents and people also that have moved in from out of state as well.
I love it.
Man, he sold that good.
It's true, though. Now I'm just like looking at my smile right now. Like, is it good? Okay, we're fine.
Right.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Jeremy, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to a new small business owner?
Network, advertise. If we don't know you're around, no one's going to find you. Networking and advertising, I think, and it's a long play. It has a long tail.
Yep.
And but it's ultimately worth it if you believe in it and you're passionate in it. Don't do it halfway though. If it's just a side deal.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
It's just the competition in this town is too great.
It is, and that's important to know. There is a lot of competition, but there is a lot of room for success too.
100%.
So don't let that deter you from your great idea. And everyone offers something a little bit different, right? So stand out for what you stand out for.
I'd piggyback off of that. I would also say, don't be mean. I mean, in all honesty, you don't know exactly who you're meeting or how they can come back into your life later on to help you with personal or business. So that one little tiny interaction where they'll say, I remember that person, they weren't really nice. I don't want to work with them or go into their business. Why would you do that? Yeah. I mean, we should all be nice to each other.
I totally agree. Well, we have some great advice coming from Josh at the Scottsdale Economic Forum. And like you mentioned, they're a huge benefit to you, and they offer so many free services as far as business consulting, business management, networking abilities, and just getting in there for a business mentor, which is huge, I think, to success too. So we're going to take a short break and we'll come back with Josh. In the meantime, don't forget to go check out Jeremy Mueller at State Farm Insurance and Dr. Rob DiVito of Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry. I'll let you guys go back because I know you're super busy with your own small businesses. So thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. When it comes to family-friendly dentistry, there's only one place in Scottsdale, and that's Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry. Teeth cleaning, innovative, pain-free laser dentistry, teeth whitening, root canals, and really any dental need you may have, Dr. Rob and his staff at Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry can handle it all. They're more than just a dentist, they really are family. We've been going there for over 3 years, and my family loves them. When your kids get excited to go to the dentist, you know you've got a good one. Dr. Rob DiVito is the only dentist in town that can handle it all. Give him a call at 480-990-1905. You can find him on the web at drdevito.com. And don't forget to tell him you heard him on the podcast. Josh Utterback is an Arizona native who spent more than 10 years in the private sector, including work in commercial real estate development, property, and asset management. He did all that before shifting to the public sector. He's been at the City of Scottsdale for 5 years now, just a little over, and serves as an economic development program manager, primarily focused on working with existing employers by leading the Business Retention and Expansion Program. He is an ASU Sun Devil for grad school, and he did meet his wife at Wheaton College, where now they get get to spend most of their weekends, as we all parents know, shuffling their 3 adorable kids to sporting events and whatever else they need. One day we'll get our life back to what we want to shuffle ourselves to, Josh.
Maybe.
But in the meantime, he is here. Josh, you come from a business background and you are like a Scottsdale native. So I would love to hear what makes Scottsdale the ideal location for new businesses.
Oh, gosh. So many reasons why it's an ideal location for new businesses, but I'll say the number one thing is the people and the talent, because that's always what businesses care most about, is being able to recruit and retain quality talent. And Scottsdale is unique in that we've got a really highly educated population. 59% or more have a bachelor's degree or higher.
I love it.
And that is substantially higher than the national average, which is about 40%. So it's the people. They've got highly educated people and people that are entrepreneurs. Lots of startups here, lots of new companies. Scottsdale's got about 3.5% of the state's population, but about 20% of all of the businesses. So lots of business owners and corporate headquarters are here, and people that are starting up their companies are here. So I think those two drivers are kind of why people are interested in starting and launching their companies here in Scottsdale.
My listeners know this. I've kind of lived all over the country in different major cities. And I will say this city, their entrepreneurial spirit is huge. Not only is it huge, but it's one of those that's different in that I really feel like it's supportive of everyone and no one's out for each other. Everyone's here to help each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not, kill or be killed type thing. It's like, we want you to survive and thrive so that it's good for the whole network.
Right.
And I think we've got a lot of good regionalism too. So even just outside of Scottsdale, just the whole greater Phoenix ecosystem of entrepreneurialism and helping small businesses thrive is present. So whether it's Local First or Greater Phoenix Economic Council or other organizations that have kind of a regional footprint, I think they all want everybody to succeed. So we're friends with our neighbors to the south in Gilbert and Tempe. And if companies moving from California and they happen to locate there instead of in Scottsdale, it's still good for the region. So definitely want everyone to thrive.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I was just going to ask, we are seeing an influx of population. We are growing fast. Some people may say growing too fast for our britches. Sometimes established businesses can get scared with so much growth. So how do you calm those concerns with current businesses to make sure that there is room for new businesses that want to come here?
Sure. Well, just from a City of Scottsdale economic development standpoint, we recognize the importance of supporting our existing businesses. Business retention and supporting and encouraging growth for existing businesses is a huge pillar of what we do. The statistics show 70 to 80% of all new jobs are created from existing businesses that are here. So the headlines are all, this company moved in from New York or California or Chicago. It's really the existing businesses that are creating new jobs year in and year out. So they might not get as many headlines, but it's those businesses that are already here growing that really drives business in a community. So
let's talk about that a little bit, because I love that that's where you want to focus on. I love focusing on the real news and not just like the headline that's going to sell. If 70 and 80% of those small businesses are really thriving and growing, do you see like the influx of people moving here, getting those jobs and not necessarily moving with their current company, or do you kind of know it all?
It's hard to say whether they're moving to start a business or with, a lot of times if it's a family, it's one of the parents that has a job that's already secured here, and then the other one ends up getting a job with a company that's here. So it's hard to say exactly what it is. I do want to address too, as far as are we growing too quickly? Scottsdale's almost built out. So we've got a population of about 250,000 right now. There's a few different estimates out there as to how big we can actually get. Maybe 310,000 tops, and that's it, because it's just impossible to grow anymore. So we're mostly built out. So the fears of like, oh, it's going to be overgrown, it's already, more than 75, 80% of where it's ever going to be. So we're not really going to get too much bigger than that. So I don't think that should be too large of a concern. The great thing is, the city has had the foresight to purchase large amount of land. That's the McDowell Sonoran Preserve. That's over 30,000 acres. A third of all of Scottsdale will never be developed. So that's awesome. And a lot of communities can't say that. And I think that's what adds to our quality of life, is having that preserve. But really, we're almost built out right now.
What do you think that does for small businesses and the entrepreneur spirit? Is there room still for them in Scottsdale?
There's definitely still room because of the people and the affluency that's already here. So if you're starting a business and it makes it, you've got it made right here. You've got the demographics that you want for it to test it here, and then to scale it here, and then to have it grow outside of here. There's a lot of dollars too, a lot of investment dollars that are available here too, if you do have a concept that can work and that can grow and that can thrive. So there's still room for entrepreneurs to start up here and grow here for sure.
I think it also shows, we were kind of talking a little bit before we started recording about the opportunities that, we do have our amazing valley cities, with the Chandler and Tempe and all that, and that they don't have to live in Scottsdale but still contribute to the Scottsdale small businesses and work and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. A unique thing about Scottsdale is that we are a net importer of jobs by a large margin. So I mentioned that 250,000 population, about 130,000 of those residents are actually in the workforce. But on any given day, there's about 210,000 people that come into Scottsdale and work. So I'm one of them. I'm actually a Phoenix resident, but I come into Scottsdale and I work. That's a large difference. So we're a net importer by a large margin. The only other two in Greater Phoenix are Tempe and Chandler, and not even close to the margin that we have. And part of that is that we've got 3 business districts. We've got one in the Air Park area where we're at right now, one in Old Town or downtown Scottsdale, and then in South Scottsdale now at Scottsdale McDowell, kind of the center of that being Skysong. So 3 business districts for one community. Usually it's one. So that's kind of one of the reasons why people are coming to Scottsdale every day to work.
Scottsdale is known for being a tourist city, right? And everyone says we all know that's where majority of our, taxes and stuff come from, and our income for the city comes from tourism. There's so much more. I'm a year-round resident here. I'm not just a snowbird kind of thing. Tell me about some of the bigger small businesses and corporations that are here in Scottsdale that really actually contribute a high amount to our economic growth.
Sure. So as far as industries, you're right. The conversation usually starts with tourism. A lot of times internationally, we're known as tourism. From an economic development standpoint, when we did our strategic plan, that was obviously identified as one of the primary industries was tourism. But outside of that, we had technology services and software, healthcare, finance and insurance, and then logistics management. So those 4 other ones are also our primary industries where we have a strategic advantage. We already have some great pillar companies in place, and that we've already seen success with, and an opportunity for more businesses to come in here within those industries. So tourism for sure is important, but technology, healthcare, finance and insurance, logistics, management, those 2 have some great companies that are already here, and hopefully some more that'll come from the startup and ecosystem, startup world.
The startup world, I'm with you, yeah. As a small business owner, that means a lot to me. I do have a bunch of friends and family. They're like, what is Scottsdale known besides tourism? And I was like, gosh, that's a good question. I should know the answer to. But it is good to see that. And like you said, you do have, the Air Park and all these other huge areas that contribute and have the space for us to work and stuff like that.
And even though we've got those primary industries, tons of different industries within Scottsdale. And if you look at our largest employers, we're not like Seattle that's got Boeing that's 20% of the whole employment is from that. Our largest employer is Honor Health, and they've got 7,000 plus employees here out of 210,000. So that's not even close to 10%. No. Not even 5%. But we've got several other employers that are kind of above 1,000. But then even our top 10 employers, right at number 10, I think it's Scottsdale Princess at 1,300, and then below that you're less than 1,000. So you've got about 15,000 employers, and of those, all but 12 have less than 1,000 employees, and 95% of them have less than 50 employees. So you've got a lot of micro businesses and a lot of small businesses that are doing really well, but you just kind of don't hear about them. Yeah.
I love that. That's great to hear. I'm going to take a short break, Josh. When we come back, I want to dive into Choose Scottsdale. We're going to talk about Hub and really what you all focus on with these small businesses to continue to help them succeed.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back. When it comes to protecting you, your family, and all your assets, you need to have someone that you can trust. And that's Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance. Jeremy Mueller has lived in Scottsdale his whole life. How can anyone else know your needs more than someone who's been here and seen it all? Jeremy and his team are always ranked in the top % at State Farm. He cares, he's knowledgeable, and most importantly, he's always available. Don't believe me? Give him a call at 480-515-5223 or find him at jeremymueller.com. I'm sitting here with Josh Utterback. He is the Economic Development Program Manager, and we are sitting here talking about all the amazing small businesses. But Josh, I want to talk about Choose Scottsdale. I had Mayor Ortega on about a year and a half or so ago, and he was super excited to get this started, and we're talking about Hub. Tell me what it is, because it's starting to fade out this fall, and I don't think we, and myself included, are using it to our advantage.
Yes, please take advantage of it. I would love to see a ton of additional employers hop on. There's a possibility we'll be able to extend it, but right now it ends, I think it's November 6th of 2023. But it's a fantastic program, the Choose Scottsdale Hub, and we used CARES Act funds for it, so federal dollars to support this program. We were looking for, okay, what sort of support can we provide to small businesses in particular that's available to all of them, that can provide them resources, but training, and this was the best fit by far. So it's put on by Cahoots and Jenny Poon and her crew, and the Choose Scottsdale Hub is it's an online platform. So it's available 24/7. It provides webinars and trainings for a number of different things, whether it's marketing or business planning or accounting or legal, whatever it might be. You can have an on-demand training at any time. They also have live webinars too. And then they have one-on-one technical assistance, which I think is the largest benefit. So,
oh, nice.
Any Scottsdale-based business can apply for the Choose Scottsdale Hub and ask for technical assistance. And you can look through the profiles of these consultants. Usually you're paying them $100, $200 an hour, but you're able to get this technical assistance for free. So you've got anywhere from legal advice, to SEO assistance on your website, to actually website development, to marketing, to whatever it is. It's been fantastic, those that have taken advantage of it. We've got about, I think we just hit the 400 mark as far as businesses taking advantage of it. I love it to be more than that, but I'm happy that many have taken advantage of it. Another huge draw for it is they have a grants and funding opportunities page that they update very regularly. So grants from, it could be anything from like E-Trade putting out a grant to Amazon to whomever, or even a local one. They'll post about it, and then you can sign up for alerts on it too, so you'll get a text message or an email about it for any grants that you might be eligible for. So great opportunity for any Scottsdale small business to take advantage of the Choose Scottsdale Hub, and check it out. Please get on that. It's going to be going until November, and then hopefully we're searching opportunities to be able to extend that. But right now it's been a huge success, gotten really positive feedback from the businesses that have taken advantage of it.
Let's talk about some of the feedback that you have gotten. What are some things that small businesses are asking for, pros and cons? What are some things that they're loving, like, oh my gosh, this is great, thank you so much, and what are some things that they're asking that they need help or assistance with?
Sure. So I think they've gotten the most benefit out of the one-on-one technical assistance. And I think the most commonly asked for one, and there's a few different marketing folks to choose from, but marketing has probably been the one that they've chosen the most and have taken advantage of. Website development has been huge. I know one or two people that had, I know I need some kind of legal, at least guidance, but I don't know if I want to hire an attorney just yet type thing. They've gotten some assistance from that as well. I know some business planning, some people that are really early, like, all right, I've got my LLC started, but I probably should do a little bit more planning, maybe take a step back. And so some of these, professionals, that's what they do. So they help them craft their business plan and really oh, I didn't realize I needed to really think through all of these things. And that's been super helpful. So any of those areas have been helpful.
The people that you have on here, the professionals, are they Scottsdale businesses or are they national?
No, there's one or two that are in Scottsdale. I think the majority are Arizona based, but there are some even that are out of state. So I think the Hub and Cahoots group has done a really good job of kind of curating okay, what do we need as far as consultants? What don't we have here? And, who can fill in the gaps?
Listen, when I was starting my business 4 years ago, I literally Googled how to start an LLC in Arizona. I didn't know what else to do, right? And so this website has been great to allow me to go right to a place that it's focused on Scottsdale, knows how this works, rather than just Googling it and hoping to find something on the first, 5 scrolls, I should say.
Yeah. One of the things that the Choose Scottsdale Hub provides too, which is unique, is it allows businesses to interact with one another. So all those 400 businesses, once you log on, you have a profile, you can kind of post about your business, you can find out about others, you can find out who else is on there, and hey, maybe there's a partnership I could do if I'm I don't know, an ice cream store, but I want to partner with the t-shirt company. Maybe there's another, they can find out and network with one another that way. So that's kind of cool.
I love that. And it goes back to what we said at the beginning, Josh, like the focus on being together and the small businesses and really just helping each other learn from each other's lessons.
Yeah, and it's creating a community too.
Yes, which we definitely need as business owners because no one else can relate to what you're going through in the long hours. If there's one lesson or one important message a small business owner should know, what is it? What would be like a huge piece of advice that you could say?
Oh, gosh. Just find mentors.
Okay.
I think that's huge. Finding others that have been there. Mentors, partners, they can be other business owners. They can be people that have retired. There's a lot of people out there, I would say, particularly in Scottsdale, that have done some amazing things that are ready and willing to provide their input that just need to be asked or are waiting to be asked or would love to be asked for their insights on things. So, find a mentor and others that are willing to pour into you.
Are those on the website too?
Through Choose Scottsdale Hub, there's mentors there. There's a couple other organizations too. SCORE is really good.
Okay.
They've got a great mentor group too. Vista Del Camino and their career services has a great group of mentors there as well. But there's a few ways you can find mentors.
Okay. I'm like Googling this as you're talking to me right now. I love it. ChooseScottsdale.com. It's very simple, and literally on the homepage is everything you need. Before we leave, Josh, what is your favorite Scottsdale vibe?
Ooh, favorite Scottsdale
Besides
vibe?
Small businesses, because we know how much you love them. So I'm going to make you think of something else.
I guess I'm like, when I'm thinking of a favorite Scottsdale vibe, I'm thinking of like, this is Scottsdale and this is awesome.
Okay.
It's hard to beat like Waste Management Open, 16th hole, doing business, and maybe having a beverage and
that's me. I'm out there
seeing
every
deals
time.
done while you're enjoying Scottsdale and the life. That's a vibe that's hard to beat, especially when I'm like texting my friends and it's 30 degrees in Illinois, and I'm like, this is my office for the day.
Listen, we've been going for 4 years now. We're not locals here, so 4 years straight. And my favorite thing about the Open is like seeing all the Midwesterners come in here and just being like lobsters by 3 o'clock because they're not used to like the heat and the sun. So I'm the one that's out there, and every year we go out and we ask them, trivia questions, and I always give people sunscreen. So I buy a bunch of mini sunscreen and give it to them because we've learned the hard way. It is always hot. It is always sunny, and to lather up here in Arizona.
For sure.
I love it, Josh. Thank you so much for what you all are doing. Thank you for supporting small businesses first and foremost. And I love this city. I love everyone in it and the positive and the connections that we're forming. And you all are such a huge part of that. So go check them out, ChooseScottsdale.com, and go support it. Hopefully we can get it extended and continue to tell other people about it too, so we can get more than 400 businesses on there.
Absolutely.
Well, stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have the calendar of events.
Thanks, Alicia.
Buying a home can be scary and sometimes frustrating, but all of that can go away with the right realtor. And that's where Sean Shackleton with the Shackleton Group is here for you. Sean has over 25 years experience in real estate. She's here to get you what you want and won't settle for less. She's experienced, knowledgeable, and understands this market, which these days is always changing. Take the stress out of your next home purchase by calling Sean at 480-734-7277. You can also find her at theshackletongroup.com. Have a wonderful week, Scottsdale. Keep vibing, and I'll see you around town.